What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? The message for tonight is to let yourself off the fucking hook. Let yourself off the fucking hook. We as a human collective have never been more stressed out and trying to hide it from everyone. Behind our phones, behind our masks, behind all the rest of the bullshit. And because there's never been division and separation like this on the earth in such a intense degree ever before, we are more so and more so living in these little worlds of our own. And well, it's good because some people need to set boundaries, because we also live in an enmeshed society as well. But when you're so isolated and separate from everyone else, and you're being pumped information of how you're supposed to be and seeing everyone else that way, but you're feeling deficient, because that's the whole point of the matrix that we live in, is for you to feel deficient. Because when you feel deficient, you act in certain disempowering ways, and those disempowering ways are empowering someone else. This is bank account usually, or power, or systems of mind control, or systems of greed. So can you let yourself off the fucking hook? Because when you let yourself off the fucking hook, you step out of that matrix plane. You become present, and you remember your value. You remember that life is a roller coaster. It's not a constant uphill Happy Meal ride like the constant pummeling of advertising wants you to think it should be or needs to be. And if it's not that way, then you're doing something wrong. Because I'm making this video because I've been seeing it more and more recently in people. They're trying to hold it together. They're putting so much pressure on themselves to hold this idea of what they think their life is supposed to be in order for them to be good, to be loved, to be enough, to be successful. They're trying to hold it all together when we're in this time in 2021 and beyond to let these things fall apart that were never meant to be held together. So can you let yourself off the fucking hook of what other people think of you, of your savings account or lack thereof, of your career, of your relationships, and perhaps the pressures that you feel that you need to attend to? We're living in a very sacrificial relational world right now too, where people are constantly making themselves second at their expense to help someone else in the name of love. Can you let yourself off the relationship struggle bus, so to speak, of constantly needing to sacrifice yourself and learn by letting yourself off the hook, learning to set boundaries, learning to honor yourself first? Because I promise you, if you're not honoring yourself first, it's eventually that toxicity, that cancer is eventually going to leak out to other people in your life. if you're making yourself second still. You see this in a lot of family dynamics. You see this a lot in workplaces. You need to make yourself first. Let yourself off the hook. I mean, Jesus. The whole idea of working out, pushing yourself, exerting pressure on your body, can you let yourself off the hook with how you're supposed to look? How you're supposed to feel? We're really going to start to step into different ways of exercising, different ways of expressing physicality, different ways of eating. We're really going to start to step into, as a human collective, as a human group, as a human family, start to step into a totally different relationship with food. Because right now it's 99% about numbing. Even if it's a subconscious numb, it's not, and again, if there's no right or wrong. If you have 3 meals a day, then keep doing it. But, and even if, you know, I don't want to make anything wrong. What I'm saying is, if you're someone who has 3 meals a day, let's just say 3 heavy meals a day, for just to exaggerate the example, you know, that's part of the food matrix. If you're unconsciously having 3 meals a day because it's what you're supposed to do, it's what you've been told to do, it's what you grew up to do, and now you just unconsciously do it, I can almost guarantee you that you're using food to numb emotions and not even realizing it. What I'm saying is, can you let yourself off the hook on both sides of the food game? Can you let yourself off the hook of, number one, eating so much or feeling the obligation to eat because you're supposed to eat? Can you let that go? But can you also, if you're feeling a cupcake during this time, if you're feeling cookies during this time, can you let yourself off the hook and stop judging yourself so hard and just have the cookies and enjoy them? I'm gonna do a whole video on alchemy and the power of your thoughts and your vibration as you eat certain foods. Because it's far better to have a box of cookies in a higher vibration than it is to begrudgingly swallow a gallon of green juice in a lower vibration because you have to, because you're putting pressure on yourself to eat a certain way because this health coach or this natural healer told you that you have to do that in order to be okay, in order to be enough. The biggest lie, I'll say this again, I'll end with this, that keeps people in the matrix, if you will, is this idea that they're deficient. It has people go into careers that they don't actually like to prove that they're smart enough, they're good enough. It has people be in relationships because they don't feel like they're enough on their own. It has people do all kinds of things with their body and with money, spending money, consuming things that they don't actually need because they've been sold the idea that they need it over and over and over and over again. It's just a subconscious thing. So can you let yourself off the hook of needing to be a certain way, needing to spend on certain things, needing to not spend on certain things, needing to impress the world? Can we let that shit go? Because I'm telling you, where we're headed, and we've gotten a sample of this in a little appetizer in 2020 and 2021, we're going to see what really matters. And it's not about what other people think of you. It's not about trying to keep yourself together to make yourself look a certain way when you're really going through it. How much can you let yourself off the hook? And not just in your mind, but really embodying this. You could be saying, yeah, I know, I've heard this a million times. But have you embodied it? Do you act it? Do you live it? Do you be it? Because that's what really matters. And that's what will assist you the most as we move through the rest of this year. I love you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful weekend. Peace.